Hey, fellow skeptics. Lester the Skeptic Tank here. Looks like my weekend is filled with brain farts to start. Immediately when I was trying to get this going, I did allude to unboxings I was going to do on Cultural Casino's High Rollers stream. I was trying to get that going, and apparently both StreamYard and EVMux is what I'm using now to manage my, because I find for the price it's a better product. Even when I was using the free plan, wasn't for a while. I mean, it wasn't for. It was even just for a hot minute. I used the free plan. For those who need an alternative for Streamyard, I would say EvenMux gives you more bang for the buck. Although the reason why I went with paid is the logo for EvenMux. It's in your face. That aside, I ran into a phenomenon with my camera. Wasn't sure what I needed to do because it showed picked up my camera, but it would not display in studio. And I just stumbled upon it after doing all this troubleshooting. I think when I went a little farther than I needed, there's a little function now they've included called add to scene or add card to scene. So StreamYard has that feature also. Because I thought it was my browser, I thought it was this and that. But here I am. I was able to find that little button, EVMux and StreamYard respectively. Found it in StreamYard first, and then could EVMux have that same thing too? Yeah, it did. So here I am. I just wanted to give I'm probably going to break this into chunks with respect to my unboxing for 2024, mainly because it surrounds what I've ordered back in 23, what I had received from my parents as like a regift. Some regifting ain't all that bad. It could be quite fortuitous for many people. So one of the things I got real quick was an espresso. I might have talked about it as well in a previous video, but real quickly, they gave me the original Nespresso. I believe that would be the right reference for it, uh, because I don't know when it was originally released, but I found one of the questions I had to have answered was what availability do I have of the pods fitting that model? So I was lucky to know that when I came back from being with my folks, the unit came with a little sample kit of pods that I can taste and see how the machine works. Which, when I compare it to a Keurig, Nespresso beats it hands down. Uh, I've messed with Keurig machines. I've used it in and out, mainly because of what had been offered by my work, and my parents still use Keurig Keurig cups. They have a dual system, and it was just funny how the Nespresso gifting came about. My dad was just giving me a little quick question. So, what do you do? What do you use for making coffee again? I said, well, standard drip system. My parents have a dual system, so one side you can flip, you can press a button, you can say, I'm going to use the Carafe. And I think the brand is Hamilton Beach. And then they have one for single, which utilizes K cups. And even with standard Keurig devices, I've, I've, I've found them to be a bit clunky compared to the Nespresso pod, because the one thing I've appreciated since using it was I can just drop the pod. And just to part of the unboxing here is um, I got this. This is a pack of pods I got from eBay. These come in little retail boxes of 10. I ordered 10 sets, so 100 pods. So I'm pretty well stocked of coffee or espresso that I can do. Well, like I was saying, my original model is this way. And I like how I can drop it in and I don't have to make sure it's seated. I just close the latch and it'll seat the pod into place. Hit the button for small serving. Or no, hitting one of the little buttons. It has two buttons that will kind of power it on. So it'll flash, okay, which of the two sizes, smaller, larger, do you want? And I hit the larger, And first of all, the lead up time to the brewing process is a lot quicker than a Keurig because Keurig's got to go through this warming up the water, got to do all this, and sometimes you don't know when it's done. At least with this one, you can tell when it's done when it's done making a noise. There isn't really a need to have a digital, what you might call interface. I kind of like that. I don't, but it's a nice thing to have. Like I don't have to worry about my ratios when I make my coffee. Now I add the dimension to my own coffee making experience, where I can throw in a couple of shots of espresso if I want. So that was one of them. So the other thing too, when I noticed is that okay, it's great that I have these available, but how do I divvy up the experience? Like I can always buy bags of coffee now. That in that line of thinking, I was thinking, okay, what would it help me if I what would help me if I got a refillable or reusable type of these, which I did. That's the next thing I got is I got this in a set of six because in my initial experience with the one I did get from eBay, I just found it a lot of work. So if I wanted to do two or three at a time, which I did with my sample kick, as like that was fast, and I would I realized, okay, this is not going to work if I go to one at a time. So I hope I don't drop the pods here that are kind of nicely stacked or decked or presented here. I'm thinking, okay, the lids for these are somewhere. I think they're somewhere, and I'm just thinking, okay, how does this work? How should this work? And I can let me see if that's available in the packaging. It says reusable capsule. I'm gonna go and here's the retail box, reusable capsule for original line coffee machine, and it's telling me please make sure to use the fairly fine grind between espresso and mocha recommended, so the coffee would not become too watery. Okay, that's interesting. In order to keep the brewing pressure well, we suggest you descale your coffee machine every 6 months or over 300 cups. Interesting. So, okay, so it says contents or what should be there. So, six capsules, foil lids, 100. Okay, capsule heads, handle, one, and then plastic scoop. Uh, so, this would be the scoop. Interesting. Okay, and then it says capsule handle. This would be the capsule handle. And it says, so that's been the thing. So, the other thing too, what prompted me to get the reusable one is I purchased the wrong line. So I think it's called Virtuo or Virtugo, or I think it's Virtuo. And I got the wrong one because it was meant for a different model of an espresso. So I just had these bouts of, okay, what do I do with these? I purchased the wrong one clearly. So the reusable is nice in that I can make use of that purchase mistake, not really sacrifice the grounds. Not that I'm overly selfish. It's just, you know, do I really need to give it up? If I can make use of it, I will. So I was able to make use of that through the use of a reusable pod. So I'm appreciative of that. So also when that same question of okay, I purchased my own coffee because yeah, it, and and I would think like the main difference between espresso and your standard drip is just how more pressed, because that's what I think espresso means. It's express, not espresso. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just think about pressing. Uh, uh, just more concentrated and so forth. Anyway, so and I think let's take a peek here. I'm gonna take this, and they said there's 100 of these lids. Okay, and it says foil. I'm thinking where. So let's see. Where is that? Would that be in here somewhere? Somewhere in here? Because they said it's foil based. I'll have to dig that up. Wait. Oh, this could be it right here. Oh, I see. It's in this little thing here. So, like I said, I might break this unboxing up. So don't be surprised if there's at least four of these videos here, because I think each of these have a story. So this one is the Nespresso gift story, which again I really appreciate it, because again I think I float between, especially being in Oregon for as long as I have, we like our coffee, and here it is. So these are the pod covers. So kind of cool, you know. So that's how they do it. Very cool. Still, I think it would be it's a way of keeping things recyclable. So the lids would be. I just need to make sure if I at some point need to reorder a set of those lids. But I don't know. Depending on how I use it, I might not need it for a while. So there's that. So it's cool. That's an espresso story. And then the next story coming up depends on what I'm feeling. That one's coming up pretty soon. We'll see if I want to space it out over a number of days. So again, thank you again, fellow skeptics. Thank you for, especially for those who have subscribed and stayed subscribed. I appreciate that. I always appreciate the comments. Again, it helps focus where I might go next in my line of videos. And I appreciate your patience, because a lot has happened. Portland was snowed and iced in for like a couple of weeks, maybe at the most. And I know I haven't put out the videos, but like I said, it's just, when I was with my folks, I kind of took it as a de facto vacation from YouTube, although that wasn't my intention. But understanding I don't get the opportunity to chill with my folks in person or even have time with my siblings, so I was just going to take advantage of what I had left. All right, guys. Well, until next video, fellow skeptics, peace out, and I'll catch you all on the other side.